Welcome to this week's World on Water Global Sailing News. We're on site at Middle Harbour Yacht Club in Sydney. Hi, I'm Rob Brown. In the last 7 days we saw day one of the TP52 Puerto Sherry Cup, day two of the MC32 Catamarans, the Superyacht Cup in Palma, Mallorca, the penultimate day of the Star Worlds, and the Kiwi Team Knots Racing at the MC32 Worlds, and lastly, day one at the huge Kiel Week regatta in Germany. The Bay of Cadiz surfed up a challenging light sea breeze for the first day of the Puerto Sherry TP52 Super Series Royal Cup.
Hola, welcome to mainland Spain. We're on Spain's Atlantic coast for the first time. This is a new venue for the 52 Super Series here in Puerto Sherry on the Bay of Cadiz. And this is the Royal Cup.
Well, tactically, we got to figure out what's going on the race course. Looks like kind of a moderate sea breeze forecasted for the next few days, and figure out the pattern and figure out what side of the course we want it, if it's the side of the course or if it's just staying phase. Yeah, there's big tides here and definitely a lot of water moving around, so we got to figure that out too.
Well, after a short delay, race one of the Royal Cup gets away in 8 knots of breeze. The wind axis is 225 degrees. Provezza and Brunello start well on the pin end of the line. The left side is strong up the first beat. 4 boats go left, 4 go right. And at the top mark, it's Provezza leading, with Brunello second, Allegra third. At the leeward gate, Allegra go to the right and make an early gain and get through to finish second. So the winner is Provezza, second Allegra, third is Platoon, getting up from 5th to 3rd. And 4th is Brunello. So race 2, slightly more breeze in the start line, about 9 to 10 knots. Breeze has moved slightly to the left. Azura get a good start off the line, leading from the left and get round to the top mark first. Sled also good off the line, get round second. Allegra are over the start line, have to recross, and that really pretty much is the end of their hopes in that race. So Azura extend through the lead. Sled are second through the finish line, Brunello second, third. So the leaders after day one are Provezza with Azura in second.
It's been a really good day for us. We're really pleased with our efforts, and we're pleased to come away with a couple of good races.
So after 2 races at the Royal Cup, Provezza leading on 5 points, second Azura on 6 points, and third Brunello on 7 points. As we expected then, Puerto Sherry proving a new challenge, very light sea breezes, hard to read. Provezza though, top of the table, pole position in the Royal Cup, and some days you're the hammer and some days you're the nail.
The scent of competition is in the air as the world's finest super yachts gather for the start of the Superyacht Cup in Palma, Mallorca.
Day one of racing at the Superyacht Cup Palma. Really nice breeze out on the water yesterday, so feeling good for the rest of the regatta.
We've got a great machine here. We really love it. It's a nice town to be in, the historic side, the harbor, it's beautiful. We're very grateful for our owners letting us play hard with it.
It's just a beautiful place to sail. Flat water, glamour.
It's day 2 here at Superyacht Cup Palma. It's a real honour to sail on Valshita because it's a original America's Cup boat. Hopefully we can get another couple of wins under our belt.
We've got a great class. We have a boat that's very similar to us in the Kiel. It'll keep us on our toes all the time. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Don't expect what you are going to get in the next 15 minutes. Race with what you have now and then adjust if it changes.
think most important is just that we have always fantastic sailing conditions over here. And we can look at the clock, and in 2 hours time we have 11, 12 knots of breeze, maybe even a little bit more. So it's guaranteed sailing, and I think that's why owners are coming back over here.
The events is key event in the calendar. Bay of Palma is perfect.
It's a really good regatta. The owners, the sailors, all mix together and literally just have fun. It really is a fun event.
Day 3 at the Puerto Sherry TP52 Super Series Royal Cup, and Azzurra having to take stock after a 5th place in the first race of the day. They turned the table with a comprehensive win in the second. The Italian-Argentine crew enjoying being back at the top of the leaderboard after 6 races completed.
Well, here we go in Puerto Sherry for day number 3 of the Royal Cup. There's been 4 different winners and 4 races so far. Breeze is a little bit more today. It's getting better every day in Puerto Sherry. Race 5 then starts with great conditions, 13 to 14 knots of sea breeze on the start line. A very, very even start. Allegri actually shaded off the line. But it's Brunellesec who gained the best breeze up the first beat. At the top mark, it's Brunellesec from Provezza with Platoon in 3rd. That's the order through to the finish line. Brunellesec win and take the lead in the Royal Cup.
We are happy to race in such good conditions. It's beautiful. It's not easy. It's not one-sided course. So plenty of opportunities to win and to lose. So it's tight racing and really enjoyable.
Well, race 6 sees a very close, even start, and then upwind there's some lighter patches. The traffic really does get quite busy, lots of boats doing a lot of tacks, but Azzurra get out to the right early, do a few less tacks and lead round the top mark from Provezza. Brunellesec 3rd with Sled in 4th, and at the finish it's Azzurra winning. Brunellesec dropped to 5th on the final run, and the lead overall for the regatta is with Azzurra.
Well, we are trying to sail better every day, and obviously we make mistakes, and we need to keep pushing. Every meter counts, so we need to keep working on our meters, and it's just fantastic racing, really cool. I am really enjoying the racing.
The standings after 6 races, Azzurra leading on 19 points, second are Brunellesec on 20, and third now Provezza on 23. Well, 2 more good races here in Puerto Sherry, racing for the Royal Cup. Azzurra at the top of the table, but just by a single point. Join us again for all the action on 52 Super Series Live.
The International Star Worlds in Sardinia, the penultimate day of racing hosted by Yacht Club Costa Smeralda.
Been a great victory in the last race of today, race 5. At least Sardinia show up the typical weather, big waves and nice breeze. We had a good start and gaining a lot in the first downwind, passing from 6, 7 to second, and in the second downwind from second to leading. So it's been a great race.
The final day of the 2019 Superyacht Cup has arrived in Palma, and everybody's happy. So it's now playtime.
good vibes, lovely people, wonderful weather. I mean, Palma de Mallorca is fantastic.
It's great fun, and the great sailing in the Bay of Palma, flat waters with a decent breeze. You can't get better than that.
Also in Spain, the TP52 Super Series Royal Cup is being fought for in Puerto Sherry. It's the final day, it's game on.
Last day of the Royal Cup here in Puerto Sherry, and what a finale we have in prospect. We have 4 points separating the top 3 boats and 1 point separating Brunello, the leaders, from Azzurra. Who's going to win the Royal Cup? Race number 9 then gets away at 1 o'clock, so an hour earlier in the day. Breeze is lighter, only 8 knots on the start line. Really nice start from Azzurra on the pin end of the line. Provezza good also at the committee boat end. Looks to be between them both early on, but actually Platoon tack out to the right, get a nice clear lane, and they're leading Provezza as they get up to the top mark, and that's the order all the way down the first run. Azzurra get engaged a little bit with Quantum initially and are tacked on by Provezza, and that costs them, they go round in third. Down the final run, it's all to play for, very close between Platoon and Provezza. Into the finish line, it's just nothing in it. Platoon just get across ahead of Provezza. Meantime, Azzurra are overhauled by Sled on the final run, and Sled get third, Azzurra dropping to fourth. So the big showdown race, very even off the start line. At the pin end of the line, you've got Azzurra just easing away from the pin, getting the early advantage over Brunello. Up on the right side, Provezza make a nice start and are going well early on, but it's Allegre and Quantum Racing which flip over to the right, get the right hand shift, and they lead at the top mark with Sled third, Phoenix fourth, and in fact all 4 of the main title contenders 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. And that's the way it stays, very close, places changing all the time until we get down to the final run, and it's only when Platoon get through Azzurra that it hands the title to Provezza by a single point.
Yeah, we're really excited. It was a tough day out there for every team, and we managed to end up on top, but you can see from the way the points are and the way the racing is that there's not much separating like the top 5 teams out there, and it was great to be amongst it and end up on top at the end of the week.
So the winners of the Royal Cup are Provezza on 38 points, second Azzurra on 39 points, and third, also on 39 points, Brunello. What a regatta, the Royal Cup going down to the final run of the final race and being decided just by a single point in the end in the favour of Provezza. This has been all about precision sailing, light to moderate sea breezes. Cascais should be breezier conditions, entirely different proposition. Join us in Cascais in July.
We go on board Knots Racing, the high-performing team from New Zealand on day 2 of the M32 Super Series. Sue Ellen from the New Zealand Sailing website reports.
one, 4 minutes. Inside 1 minute.
So weird. Awesome, heaps of fun. It was really tricky though in the light stuff. We were struggling for speed a little bit, but once the breeze came back up, we were pretty comfy and managed to get a couple good ones in at the end. So super stoked.
Oh, so good, so good. Especially when the breeze comes on, they just take off. So much power, it's great.
Yeah, bloody good fun. Good breeze, can't ask for much more.
It's been a good day, a lot of fun.
Okay, I have no clue if my camera is going to survive what I just endured on board the M32 with Knots Racing. My camera is saturated. They had a great day, but it's so worth it. You can always buy new gear, but you can't buy this shit.
Am I going to start? Okay, so today was a pretty awesome day for conditions. Big waves and building throughout the day. Wind was slowly moving around to the left. We made a few mistakes with our starts and it didn't really give us the opportunity to be contending at the front as much. But in the last one we had a real awesome start. Unfortunately, we were just the tiniest fraction over and had to take the penalty, which in this class is to drop to the back of the fleet. We fought back and got really back into contention coming into the last top mark, but then a fraction off on the ley line meant that we got back into 5th place. Really excited about everything that we've learned and how much fun we're having with the boat, and looking forward to sending it tomorrow.
Even in its 138th year, Kiel Week still plays a virtuoso performance on the keyboard of festivity. Kiel Week is the largest summer festival of sail in Northern Europe.
Keeping with a long-held tradition, the prelude to the 125th edition of Kiel Week was the Welcome Race. Accompanied by ex-Chancellor Schroeder and his wife, the boat of the North German Regatta Club, along with 4 other international teams, started day 1 of the Nord Stream race. On the first day, the Swedish boat leads on points ahead of the German team. The regatta concludes 12 days from now in the Russian city of St. Petersburg. The Youth Champions League was one of the opening competitions of the regatta. 21 teams competing in the J70 class. And here the crew of the Flensburg Yacht Club showed the rest of the teams the way around the track in the first few flights. We are still focused and want to continue to maintain the lead and have our goal in mind. What is your goal? We want to compete in the final, but there are no guarantees. In second place is another German team from Munich Yacht Club, followed by the Norwegian sailing team Tonsberg Seilverening. Sailors in the OK dinghy fleet are competing in their European Championship as part of Kieler Woche. Racing in moderate wind conditions, the Swedish sailor Frederick Loof came out on top. The Kiel Sunshine also smiled on the German Stefan de Vries and New Zealand sailor Greg Wilcox, who occupy second and third overall. With fantastic sailing conditions showing up for yet another day in Kiel, the eagerly awaited final of the Youth Sailing Champions League took place on Monday afternoon. 21 teams from 9 countries had entered the regatta, which took place in J70 sports boats. The final day was divided into 2 parts. First with the conclusion of the qualification, followed by the final races, to which only the top 4 placed teams of the qualification were invited. Since Saturday, the under-23 sailors had completed a total of 45 qualifying races. The Flensburger Segel Club was favourite in today's final qualification, but then it didn't work out quite so well on the racecourse. We didn't have much boat speed. Finally, we are super happy. 3rd place is fantastic. The crew from Bodensee Yacht Club Uberlingen rose to the occasion, winning the qualification by 1 point in the final race. According to the rules, the final is decided when a team has 2 points. Already in the first round of the 4-boat final, the team from Lake Constance closed out the regatta. Although their start was far from perfect, they were able to use superior boat speed to sail quickly to the top of the field. The competition was over. It was a bit of luck that we got a little wind shift at the top, and then we went into first place. Meanwhile, there was plenty of action and drama on the other race courses across the fjord. Tomorrow is the final day of the international boat classes. We are eagerly awaiting the final of the OK Dinghies European Championship and the results of the Euro Cup in the 29er class. We'll be featuring these and many more exciting races tomorrow at 12:15 p.m. on Kiel TV.
Well, that's our program from Sydney's Middle Harbour Yacht Club for another week on the World on Water. Be watching next week for more great boating news from around the globe. I'm Rob Brown.